Vegetarians turn away now. I'm gonna make chicken scallopini tonight, which is basically just breaded and fried chicken breast that's been sliced. I have a fruit fly in here. I'm gonna show you the technique I use, and how I do this is as so. I cleaned up the chicken breast, basically just trimmed off anything that wasn't not perfect, you know, little pieces of fat and little crunchy bits, which we all hate in this house. And then what I do is I take my knife and I cut long ways flat on the breast like this. So basically you're cutting this way across, okay? So I push down on here and then I slice this way. I'll get a better angle in a second. So basically once I've cut through all the way, and I now have two slices here. Put that in here. I do that with all three. So each piece basically is enough for one person. Unless you're me, and then you eat two. So whatever. Throw that in there. And three. And that just, this makes it so nice because you basically end up with a very thin piece of chicken which fries so quickly. And really by the time that the breading cooks, your chicken is cooked inside. Now I always put the chicken into the oven on warm for 10 to 15 minutes after I fry it, just to make sure that if I've missed anything on the inside, it is cooked all the way through. We don't want any foodborne illness, we know that. So now that I've done that, I'm gonna actually salt my chicken with good Diamond Crystal kosher salt. Like this, both sides. Not too heavy, but you want generosity. Okay. Seems like a lot, but it's fine. Okay. Once we do that, one more piece. Now normally what I do is I soak this in buttermilk for a few hours, sometimes overnight. I don't have any buttermilk. I could make some, but I kind of don't want to right now. But what I am going to do is soak this in pickle juice. And evidently, pickle juice is one of those secret ingredients from certain places. And they think nobody knows about it. I found out. So, I have my half sours, which I love half sour pickles. I don't really love the ones that are like off the shelf. I actually get the ones from the deli because to me they're just fresher tasting. And I'm just gonna stir this up so all the garlic particles come up. That saltiness, that brininess, and that garlickiness is gonna be so good. Pour this in here. And this literally is just a jar of pickles that I ate that I kept the juice from. Certainly don't go out and buy pickle juice. That would be ridiculous. Stir this around a tiny bit, just so all sides get wet. And I'm gonna cover this with a plate, put it in the fridge for a couple hours, maybe an hour. Doesn't need too much time. But this is gonna embed flavor into the chicken. I mean, the chicken is raw and it's gonna take up anything that I put next to it. And this is perfect because it's a great flavor. Then when I'm done, I'm gonna take them out, dry them, pat them dry, flour them, put some egg on, like dip them in egg, and then do panko because I really love a crunchy coating on these. And I'll show you how that goes. So see you in like an hour. Okay, I took my pickle soaked chicken out of the fridge. Looks like it's nice and marinated now. So what I'm gonna do is dump this out, strain it, dry it off, and then coat it in flour, well, seasoned flour, and then take the seasoned flour and beat a few eggs, dip them in the eggs, and then put them in panko so I get a nice crunchy coating. So let's see it. Let's go. Okay, so I've got my flour in a bowl like this. I do some finely ground pepper, and I add salt, a little bit, pinch or so. Nothing crazy, but gotta season properly. And I want a little bit of onion powder. Again, not too much. Just a tiny bit of seasoning. A little cayenne pepper. Love that heat Very good. And a little dash of coriander. And last, I'm gonna do some black garlic powder. Not too much, a little bit. Little tiny bit of flavoring goes a long way on this because it's literally in the flour, so it's definitely gonna get on the food. But when I start adding the panko as my breading, this is gonna be like another layer of flavor underneath. It's really nice. Okay, so I just have to dry off the chicken and then we're gonna start dunking. Okay, so I'm gonna take my chicken fillet and just coat it in the flour. Not super heavy, but just make sure that every part is coated. That's very important because once you dip it in the egg, it has to cling to that, and then the panko clings to the egg. So it's like 3 stages that really are important, and they kind of support each other. Best way to describe it. Very nice. Easy, clean, and ready for its dunking. All right, last piece. Just going to coat in flour, and I have a nice pile of 6 fillets that are ready for dunking in egg. So basically I'm just gonna crack an egg, put a tiny bit of salt in it, and then just dip these. But I do have to get my panko ready, so let's do that first. All right, one of my favorite ingredients of all time, and it's so inexpensive for what a good product it is. So, $2.49 a box. Sometimes less. Alright. So let's just cut this baby open. It's probably going to take half the bag, but it's so worth it, I promise.
In the Asian aisle.
Yeah, I mean, if you go to the grocery store, it's like in the Asian aisle, or like the, international foods.
Yeah.
But I get this at the Asian market because I just like to be a little bit authentic about it. It seems weird, but it's true. All right, so I have my panko here. What I normally do is I add a tiny bit of oregano to this. The reasoning, I don't know. I did it a long time ago once and I liked it, so I just kept doing it. So dried oregano, which I'm out of now, and then I just mix it in. Really easy, okay? Crack my egg. I like brown eggs. I just think they taste better. They probably don't, but it's just my imagination that takes me there. My favorite little implement. I'm just gonna mix this. Make sure you get the yolk really, really, really mixed into the white, because the yolk is actually, like, in my opinion, the stickiest part of, and it's the most flavorful part of the egg. So I really want that flavor and that stickiness in this because it's really the glue that keeps all of this together and does such a good job of making it so perfect every single time. All right, that's pretty good. All right, so here we go. We're gonna do a little fillet, and here's how I do it. I just lay this in back and forth on one side. I might need 2 eggs for all this. And then back and forth on the other. Just make sure everything's coated and then let it drain off a little tiny bit. You don't want this sitting in egg. And then, I mean, it's not French toast here, it's chicken. Then we put it into our panko. And this is the trick I think people miss out on. Lay this on top of the panko and grab the panko from underneath and pour it over it. Then you won't get your hand as wet, as sticky and gummy. And then what I do is I press down. Flip over, press down, flip over and press down over and over again. And this really gets that coating embedded into the chicken. And sometimes, I mean, I remember being a kid and every single time we had breaded anything, my mom would make it and it would be like, okay, everybody grab one, and we would go to take it off the plate and all the coating would just fall right off into like a flat thing. And we would be like, oh, okay. And eat it anyway. I mean, we liked it, but we really wanted it attached to the chicken or the pork chop or whatever. So I'm just doing this, pressing, getting that panko really embedded into the egg and into the chicken. And when I do that a few times, it really holds on beautifully. Look at this. Amazing. Okay, so I'm gonna lay that in a dry pan like this. And I'm gonna carry on, I'm gonna do the other 5, and then I'll see you after that and I'll show you the rest of cooking it. Crunchy, crunchy. Oh, it's gonna be so good. Look at that, coated perfectly. Love it. All right, and that's my last one. And I'm very happy with the way these came out. They look really nice, very even. And I'm gonna pour some oil. I use canola oil for the frying. I know some people insist on olive oil, but I feel like it's kind of wasteful and unnecessary. So just whatever, I'm fine with that. But I think these came out really, really nice. I'm really happy with them. So let's get to frying. So in preparation of all this, I have my pan heating up. I have basically like a double, I call it like a double bottom cover. So bottom cover would be just enough oil to cover the bottom, and I have like about twice as much as that, kind of the amount that I use to fry. I put a pan, a baking sheet with a piece of paper in it, and that way when I'm done frying I can put this in here and put it in the oven, and it's kind of easy, works out well. But once this comes to temp, I'll show you the next step. So my oil has basically come up to temp. I don't actually measure the temperature. I just put it on kind of medium and hope for the best. No, I'm just kidding. I put it on medium, and then I actually test it by throwing a little piece of the panko into the oil. And when it starts to sizzle immediately, I know it's ready. If it fries and burns, I know it's too hot and I have to turn it down. And obviously the opposite is if it just sits in the oil, it's not ready. So one thing I do like to do with this is I cut slices of lemon. This is always a trick that I love with chicken. And I slice about, sometimes depending on how much chicken I have to cook, lemon, and I cut a jalapeno in half, long ways. And when I put the first 2 pieces of chicken in, I throw a slice of lemon in there, and it just flavors everything. Oh, it's so good. It's just like another layer of flavor that nobody is expecting, but delicious. So I'll throw one of these jalapeno slices in, and a nice slice of lemon. And it is going to sizzle and pop for a second, but after a second it stops doing that and you don't have to worry. So let's let these settle in a little. And what I basically do with this at this point is I let these cook for probably 2 minutes, and then I turn them around, not over, but around, so that, you know, generally speaking, range top is going to have actually like hot points in the middle and cooler points on the outside of the pan. So I don't want these cooking that unevenly. So when I spin them around, I get a very even coating, and I'll show you that when I'm done. And I almost forgot to turn my oven on. So I just did it on warm, which is a 175 temperature. That way when I throw this chicken inside, it's not going to cook it anymore. It's just going to keep it kind of like a little insurance policy that makes sure that the chicken is done, and also that it stays warm until I'm ready to eat it. We're about 1.5 minutes, not quite 2 minutes in, and the inside edge of the chicken on both pieces is actually starting to color up. So I'm going to do this. Just turn these around like that. Takes no effort, but I love to use this little chopstick. It's such a great little tool for this. And let those cook for another couple of minutes, see how they do, and then if I'm happy, I lift them up to check the underside, make sure they're evenly cooked. Then I just flip them over, let them cook for a couple minutes either on the other side, and check them and keep turning. The trick is to make sure you're turning them over and around. Just little tips that I think help people. Okay, I'm going to check these. Now, I did notice one thing, and I almost forgot to say this. When the lemon slices start to color up, you want to get rid of them because they're going to start to turn black and actually get the oil kind of dirty. So just make sure you take them out before they do that. All right, and replace, of course. Now, these look really nice right now. I'm going to lift up. Oh, they're very even. So let's turn this over. And like this, very nice. And here, beautiful. All right, happy with that. So let's continue. And once I get all these done, I'll show you how we put them in the oven and keep them warm until we're ready to eat. And then, of course, I tell you about my favorite things to add. Okay, these two are done. I'm happy with them. Both sides are nice and crunchy and ready. Let them drain a tiny bit. And again, this one, beautiful. Looks so good. And very important element here. I want to add my Maldon salt while it's still hot so that it actually will stick to the chicken. Otherwise, when you go to put it on after it's cold, it just kind of falls off. Boring. I want hot, nice, salty chicken. All right, these go in the oven, okay? Warm oven, not hot, of course. And we're gonna start another round. So, here, nice sizzle on that. Might be up a little bit high, so I might have to drop this tiny bit. Somebody keeps stealing my towel. My sous chef. My drink maker. Uh-oh. Whoops. Nobody saw that, right? My jalapeno is looking a little peaked, so I'm going to take him out. I usually don't talk about my jalapeno like that, but there we go. Drop the new one in. And I'm going to flip the other ones. Probably going to need another slice, so get that ready. And we'll continue. Did I just miss that whole fucking... Alright, last set of two. Looking delish. Let's get these out of the oil. Turn this off. Looks so good. I'm excited about dinner now. It always seems like, ugh, I have to make dinner. And then you make dinner and you go, oh, I did such a good job. I'm so excited. Cut off the heat. And salt, of course. I have to assault my chicken. And that's it. So, easy. Takes a little bit of time. Definitely worth it. Delicious chicken. The thing I love on this, two things I love on this, if you wouldn't mind, the Cholula. The sauce, if you can buy Cholula in the store, this is, in my opinion, the best hot sauce there is out on the market. It is so good. It's so tasty. It actually has a flavor. It's not just hot and burns your mouth. It tastes great, especially on this chicken. And I also love to make my own honey mustard for this, which I'm not going to do tonight. I don't feel like it. So I'm going hot sauce. And actually sour cream on top of this chicken is really good too, which sounds kind of odd, but the coolness is just such a nice counter to the crunchy and the savoriness. So, oh, we also have this. My lovely assistant. This wasabi mayo is really good too. So try these out if you ever have a chance. Kikkoman makes this, Cholula, obviously. Believe it or not, I found this Cholula for $1.99 at Ocean State, or no, where was it? Ollie's. It's the funny thing is that it's close to its expiration date, but not close enough for me not to buy it for $2. Because normally this is like $7. So I got a cat whining at me, wondering what she's like. When am I gonna eat? But I'm gonna show you what this, how good this looks inside. Let's do this. My gosh, look at it. Yummy, steaming. And you know, I always have to burn my mouth on every episode, so. Wow.
Deal?
Here's what's so good about it. The lemon and the heat and the seasonings that are in the panko and in the layers of flour that are coating it, you taste. The salt on the outside is very tasty. But because I brined it with that pickle juice, you actually get this amazing flavor in the chicken itself. And normally what I would do is marinate it in buttermilk, which actually is a completely different flavor. It's more creamy and sort of tangy, but This is such a good way to make chicken. I promise you, if you ever try it, you have to just try it at least once, because even if you kind of screw up the first time because your oil is too hot or too cold and you throw it in there and it kind of like sits and you're wondering what's going on, even if you screw up one of these elements, you're still going to have a good dinner. Promise. But try this with hot sauce. You'll absolutely love it. My God. It makes me want a chicken sandwich so bad right now. But I'm just going to eat it plain. Cut it up with a little veggie and go for it. I think I might have edamame with this tonight. I think that sounds really good. So, that's it, guys. Hopefully you had fun watching this. Turn my oven off. I'm really happy with this. It's going to be delicious. And hopefully you will try it sometime. See you next time. Yum. Hey, don't forget to like and subscribe too. I almost forgot to say it today. Time to eat some good chicken. All right, I'm really done this time.